Ghost 1990 is a deeply emotional and supernatural love story between Sam and Molly, which has touched the hearts of millions of viewers with unforgettable moments and stellar performances by Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg. After 35 years, the film remains a timeless classic, but the real lives of the cast are filled with tragedies and secrets that are full of surprises. In this video, we will explore the real names and mysterious stories they tried to keep hidden. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go! Patrick Swayze as Sam Wheat. Patrick Swayze, born on August 18, 1952, was one of Hollywood's most famous stars, known for his romantic, strong, and humorous roles in blockbuster films. In 1990, at the age of 38, he captivated the world with his role as Sam Wheat in Ghost, one of the most iconic romantic films, where he and Demi Moore created a legendary moment with the clay spinning wheel. Ghost not only earned him a Golden Globe nomination, but also became the highest-grossing film of 1990. However, behind the glitz and glamour, Patrick Swayze's life was far from smooth. He battled alcohol addiction throughout his youth, and always faced the shadow of his painful past when he lost his father. Yet, the biggest challenge came in 2008, when he was diagnosed with terminal pancreatic cancer. Despite this, he continued working, starring in the series The Beast, which many critics considered his best performance. His love for Lisa Nemi, his wife of 34 years, was also full of challenges, but remained strong. They met when Patrick was 18 and Lisa was 14, in dance classes taught by his mother. To fully understand the depth of Patrick Swayze's contribution to Ghost, one must recognize that he was not the studio's first choice for the role of Sam Wheat. Director Jerry Zucker initially wanted a more traditional action star or a comedian, but Swayze fought for the role after reading the script and crying. He felt a deep spiritual connection to the character's struggle to communicate from beyond the grave, a sentiment rooted in the loss of his own father, Jesse Swayze, who had died of a heart attack in 1982. This personal grief fueled the raw emotions seen in the final scene, where Sam bids farewell to Molly. The tears were real, stemming from Patrick's unresolved pain. Furthermore, Swayze's background as a trained ballet dancer, having studied at the prestigious Joffrey Ballet and Harkness Ballet schools, brought a unique physical grace to the role. This was particularly evident in the way he moved during the fight scenes and the intimate moments. Demi Moore as Molly Jensen. Demi Moore, born on November 11, 1962, is one of Hollywood's most influential and celebrated actresses. In 1990, at the age of 27, she became a sensation with her role as Molly in Ghost, the legendary film featuring a haunting love scene between her and Patrick Swayze. The film not only grossed over $505 million, but also made Moore one of the most beloved actresses, launching her career into stardom. However, behind her peak career was a personal life full of ups and downs. Moore went through 3 marriages to famous men, including musician Freddie Moore, actor Bruce Willis, and actor Ashton Kutcher. Her marriage to Bruce Willis lasted from 1987 to 2000, producing 3 daughters. But despite their divorce, they maintained a close relationship. Her marriage to Kutcher also drew attention. But after their divorce in 2013, Demi Moore's performance in Ghost was defined by her vulnerability, particularly her ability to cry on cue with a single tear running down her cheek, a talent that director Jerry Zucker found mesmerizing. Her iconic short haircut in the film was actually a risk. She cut her hair without telling the studio beforehand, causing initial panic among executives who feared it would ruin the movie's romantic appeal. Instead, it became a global trend, symbolizing a modern, independent woman. The famous pottery scene, often parodied, was incredibly technical to shoot, yet Moore and Swayze's chemistry turned a messy clay spinning session into one of cinema's most erotic moments without any nudity. This role catapulted Moore to become the highest-paid actress in Hollywood by the mid-90s, where she broke barriers by commanding a $12.5 million salary for striptease, demanding equal pay in a male-dominated industry. Vincent Schiavelli as Subway Ghost. Vincent Andrew Schiavelli, born on November 11, 1948 in Brooklyn, New York, was an actor known for his unique roles in films such as Ghost 1990, Amadeus 1984, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest 1975, and Batman Returns 1992. With his distinctive sad face and unique acting style, Schiavelli left a mark on audiences, especially with his role as Subway Ghost in Ghost. Despite facing serious health problems due to Marfan syndrome, he maintained a successful career and was beloved for his memorable supporting roles. Schiavelli's career spanned several decades, with numerous roles in film and television. However, his personal life was no less turbulent, marked by a painful marriage and difficulties in his family life. Schiavelli was married twice, to Alice Beasley and Carol Sue McCallion, and had a son. Despite many challenges, he remained dedicated to his career and passion for his work. On December 26, 2005, Schiavelli passed away at the age of 57 after a battle with lung cancer. He was buried at the Polizzi Generosa Cemetery in Sicily. Vincent Schiavelli's physical appearance was the result of Marfan syndrome, a genetic disorder that affects the body's connective tissue, giving him his remarkable height of 6 feet 6 inches, elongated fingers, and distinctive facial structure. While this condition caused him physical pain and eventual joint degeneration, Schiavelli brilliantly turned it into his greatest asset as a character actor, often playing eccentrics, outcasts, or supernatural beings. In Ghost, his portrayal of the Subway Ghost is pivotal. He is the tormented soul who teaches Sam Wheat how to channel his emotions to physically move objects. The scene was physically demanding, requiring Schiavelli to display intense, manic energy while interacting with the invisible world. Off-screen, Schiavelli was a man of surprising gentleness and refined taste. He was a celebrated food writer and chef, authoring several cookbooks including Brucolino America and Many Beautiful Things, which chronicled his love for Sicilian cuisine and stories from his grandfather. In the final years of his life, Schiavelli made a radical change by moving back to Polizzi Generosa, the small Sicilian village his grandparents had emigrated from. There, he lived in a home with no heat, immersing himself in the local culture and storytelling. He became a beloved figure in the town, often seen chatting with locals in the piazza rather than living like a Hollywood star. He wrote about the healing power of returning to one's roots. Vivian Bunnell as Ortesia. Vivian Bunnell was born on May 23, 1924, in Antigua, British West Indies. She was a famous actress and calypso singer, and at the age of 66, in 1990, she appeared in Ghost, 1990 as Ortesia, a character that highlighted the strong and sharp personality in the film. This role marked one of the memorable milestones in Vivian's career. Although she often took on supporting roles in both television and film, Bunnell began her singing career in the 1940 Sawiti. When she became known by the stage name Enid Mosier, delivering captivating calypso performances. She was one of the leading artists in this genre at the time, performing in famous clubs and theaters. In the 1950 CE, she moved to the U.S. and continued her singing career, participating in musical productions and recording calypso albums. Vivian Bunnell, often credited as Enid Mosier in her early years, brought a lifetime of performance experience to her small but impactful role in Ghost. She played Ortesia, the woman who comes to Oda Mae Brown for a seance to contact her husband. The scene is pivotal because it is the moment Sam Wheat first makes contact with the physical world through Oda Mae. Bunnell's skepticism and eventual shock when Oda Mae actually hears her dead husband. "He says he likes your hair. He says he likes the way it smells," provides the audience with the first confirmation that Oda Mae isn't a total fraud, even if she thinks she is. Bunnell's reaction, shifting from annoyance to awe, anchors the supernatural element in reality. Phil Leeds as Emergency Room Ghost. Ghost. Phil Leeds, born on April 6, 1916, in New York City, New York, was a talented actor known for his distinctive appearance and unique acting style. Famous for his humorous supporting roles in films and television shows, Leeds became a character actor that audiences could never forget. With his wrinkled face, bulging eyes, and nose reminiscent of Jimmy Durante, he was best known for playing swindlers, traitors, or quirky characters who always carried an air of mystery. In the 1940 CE, Leeds began his career in the entertainment industry as a stand-up comedian at the famous Catskill Mountains nightclubs. He opened for major names like Barbra Streisand and Harry Belafonte. After working on Broadway and serving in World War II, Leeds became embroiled in the McCarthy wave, which affected his career. However, he continued to work, taking on small roles in films and television shows, most notably as Dr. Shand in Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Leeds' career saw some success, but his personal life was rather lonely. He didn't marry until he wed Toby Brandt, until her death in 1987. Phil Leeds' role in Ghost is brief but unforgettable. As the emergency room ghost, he haunts the hospital waiting area, obsessively waiting for his name to be called despite being dead. This character serves a crucial narrative function. He introduces Sam, and the audience, to the concept of earthbound spirits, ghosts who are so attached to their mortal routines or grievances that they cannot move on. Leeds played the role with a mix of comedy and existential dread, perfectly capturing the purgatory of the waiting room. His line, asking if the nurse called his name, adds a touch of dark humor to a tragic situation. This ability to blend the funny with the sad was a hallmark of Leeds' career, honed during his years in the Borscht Belt comedy circuit of the Catskills. Leeds' life story is also a testament to survival against political persecution. During the Red Scare of the 1950 he was blacklisted after refusing to name names before the House Un-American Activities Committee. For years, he was barred from television and film, forcing him to rely solely on nightclub acts to survive. It was a period of great professional hardship, but he refused to compromise his principles. He rebuilt his career slowly, becoming a familiar face in the 70s, 80s, and 90s on sitcoms like Golden Girls, Friends, and Ally McBeal. He often played the cranky old man or the wise eccentric. And interestingly, despite his lonely personal life, he was a shrewd investor. Alma Beltran, as Woman Ghost. Alma Leonor Beltran, born on August 22, 1919 in Cananea, Sonora, Mexico, was a prominent actress in American film and television. She is best known for her role as Mrs. Fuentes in the famous series Sanford and Son, 1972. Her career spanned over 80 small roles in films and television shows from the 1940s to 2002. In 1990, at the age of 70, Alma appeared in Ghost as the Woman Ghost, delivering an impressive performance. Alma's life was full of challenges. She faced the sudden loss of her husband, Orlando Alfredo Beltran, in 1957 when he passed away from a heart attack at the age of 51. She became a widow and raised 2 children on her own. Despite this, Alma did not give up, continuing her acting career and establishing a stable life. Alma Beltran's role in Ghost is one of the film's funniest and most visually memorable moments. She plays the woman ghost who faints upon seeing Sam Wheat jump through a closed door. Her character serves as comedic texture in the ghost world, showing that even in the afterlife, spirits can still be shocked and dramatic. Though she has no spoken lines in that specific sequence, her physical comedy, the gasp and the faint, demonstrates her seasoned timing. This was consistent with her long career. Beltran was a trailblazer for Latina actresses in Hollywood at a time when roles were scarce and often stereotypical. She refused to be invisible, consistently working for over 5 decades in films like Blue Thunder and Marathon Man. Beyond the screen, Beltran was deeply dedicated to her community and the craft of acting. She understood the difficulties Hispanic actors faced in Hollywood and dedicated her retirement years to education, mentoring young actors at UCLA. Tony Goldwyn as Carl Bruner. Anthony Howard Goldwyn, born on May 20, 1960 in Los Angeles, is an American actor, singer, producer, and director. The highlight of his career was playing Carl Bruner, the betrayer in the iconic film Ghost, 1990, when he was just 30 years old. This role not only earned him global attention, but also a Saturn Award nomination. Beyond his film success, Goldwyn also stood out in biographical films like Nixon, 1995, and From the Earth to the Moon, 1998, as well as lead roles in films like The Last Samurai, 2003, and Divergent, 2014. Despite his bright career, Goldwyn's personal life hasn't been without its challenges. He married production designer Jane Muskie in 1987, and they have 2 daughters. However, his family life faced difficulties, particularly after the tragic loss of his brother in an accident. In addition to acting, Goldwyn plays a significant role in political campaigns, supporting Hillary Clinton and participating in charity work with organizations like the Innocence Project. Tony Goldwyn comes from true Hollywood royalty. He is the grandson of Samuel Goldwyn, the legendary mogul and founder of MGM and Samuel Goldwyn Films, and the son of producer Samuel Goldwyn Jr. Despite this lineage, Tony was determined to make it on his own merit, often hiding his family connection in his early years to avoid accusations of nepotism. His role as Carl Brunner in Ghost was a masterclass in deception. He played the character with such charm and yuppie-like ability in the first half that the audience, much like Sam Wheat, felt genuinely betrayed when his true nature was revealed. Goldwyn has joked in interviews that for years after the movie, waitresses would refuse to serve him, and people would glare at him on the street, a testament to how effectively he played the villain. This role opened the door for him to voice the title character in Disney's Tarzan, showcasing his softer side. Armelia McQueen as Clara, Oda Mae's sister. Armelia Audrey McQueen, born on January 6, 1952 in Southern Pines, North Carolina, was a talented actress best known for her role as Clara, a supporting but important character in Ghost, 1990 in the lives of the main characters. At the time of filming Ghost, McQueen was 38 years old and had already made a name for herself on Broadway, particularly with the musical Ain't Misbehavin'. However, her life was far from smooth. McQueen had a tumultuous romantic past and complicated family relationships, which led to feelings of loneliness and isolation. She lived alone, had no children, and faced many life challenges. Despite achieving artistic success, she struggled with isolation and insecurity throughout her later years. She passed away on October 3, 2020, at the age of 68, due to natural causes. At the time of her death, McQueen had an estate valued at about $500,000. Her ashes were cremated and returned to her family, and she is remembered as a talented actress whose life was full of challenges and sorrow. In Ghost, Armelia McQueen played Clara, one of Oda Mae Brown's assistants and sisters, along with Gail Boggs, who played the other sister, Louise. McQueen provided the essential comic relief that balanced the film's thriller and romance elements. The dynamic between the sisters and Whoopi Goldberg was electric. They portrayed a skepticism and family bickering that felt incredibly authentic. One of the most memorable scenes involving McQueen is at the bank, where she and Oda Mae are frantically trying to close the account before getting caught. Her reaction shots and chaotic energy helped sell the tension and humor of the heist. Before her film fame, McQueen was a powerhouse on the stage. She was an original cast member of the Tony Award-winning musical Ain't Misbehavin', debuting in 1978. Her performance in that show was so acclaimed that she won a Theatre World Award. Despite her boisterous and joyful on-screen persona, McQueen's later years were quieter and marked by health struggles. She continued to work in television, appearing in shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Heart of Dixie, where she played Shula Whitaker, the town's resident psychic, a nod to her ghost roots. Whoopi Goldberg as Oda Mae Brown. Whoopi Goldberg, born on November 13, 1955, in New York, is one of Hollywood's legendary actresses, with a career full of success and painful stories. In 1990, at the age of 34, Goldberg made a major milestone in her career by playing Oda Mae Brown, a quirky yet deeply emotional psychic, in Ghost, 1990. With this role, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, becoming the first black actress to win in this category. The role not only won the hearts of audiences, but also made Goldberg an icon in the film industry. However, few know that behind the glamour was a life filled with struggles. Goldberg went through 3 failed marriages and numerous tumultuous relationships. Her emotional wounds deepened as she battled drug addiction, a problem that haunted her for a long time. Goldberg has openly admitted to being immersed in heroin and marijuana, a period that nearly derailed her career. In 2025, at the age of 69, Whoopi Goldberg is still hosting The View, where she continues to shine and attract public attention. She also participates in numerous films. Whoopi Goldberg almost didn't get the role of Oda Mae Brown. The studio executives were hesitant and considered other stars like Tina Turner or Oprah Winfrey. It was Patrick Swayze who flatly refused to do the movie unless Whoopi was cast. He was a huge fan of her one-woman Broadway shows and believed her comedic timing was essential to balance the film's tragedy. When they finally did a screen test together, the chemistry was instantaneous. Whoopi later credited Swayze with her Oscar win, saying, "I won because of Patrick." Her performance provided the film's most memorable line, "Molly, you in danger, girl," which has since entered the global pop culture lexicon. Beyond Ghost, Whoopi achieved the rare and prestigious EGOT status, winning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award, a feat accomplished by very few entertainers in history, solidifying her versatility as a comedian, actress, and host. Rika Viles as Willie Lopez. Rika Viles, born on October 14, 1952 in Manhattan, was a comedian and actor of Puerto Rican descent, best remembered for his role as Willie Lopez, the murderer in the classic film Ghost, 1990. At 37, when he starred in this film, Avalos delivered a standout performance as the villain, helping the movie earn several Oscar nominations and making a lasting impact on audiences. However, his career was severely interrupted by issues related to addiction and substance abuse, which led him into isolation and financial struggles. Avalos's life was full of ups and downs. Though he started his career with great promise and was celebrated as a talented stand-up comedian, he couldn't overcome the temptations of life, leading to a personal life full of hardship. He appeared in other films such as The Godfather Part 3, 1990, Carlitos Way, 1993, and Waterworld, 1995. But his health issues and personal life limitations restricted his career. On March 17, 1995, at the age of 42, Rick Avalos, often credited as Rick Avalos, was a force of nature in the New York comedy scene long before he terrified audiences as the hitman Willie Lopez. He began his career as a street performer in Greenwich Village, honing a raw, energetic style of comedy that eventually landed him a spot as a host of its showtime at the Apollo. His comedy was sharp, observational, and deeply rooted in his Latino heritage and the gritty reality of New York streets. This background made him perfect for the role of Willie Lopez. He brought a genuine, menacing intensity to the character that a more polished actor might have missed. In Ghost, his physical performance during the fight scenes with Patrick Swayze was intense, and the scene of his character's death, being dragged away by shadow demons into the darkness, remains one of the most frightening sequences in a PG-13 movie, serving as a grim moral counterweight to Sam's ascension.